We haven't done it in a while. I mean, seriously, in a while I talk like this. But I want you to read an email.
Okay.
An email that I get quite often.
Want me to open it up?
Let me find it here.
Okay.
I get this kind of email, I'm not kidding you, maybe not on daily basis, but extremely often. And people just want to, people want to know, people want to get out of the stuff that they do. Read it and read it aloud.
Okay. It went away. Who's it from? I can open it up.
No, you don't have it there. You can't open it up.
Oh, it's not on.
It's not on eBay.
Okay. Hi, Pete. I just watched one of your YouTube videos and I'm greatly inspired to get out of my soul-sucking 9-to-5 to start buying and selling products like you do. I have wanted to do something like this for a long time, but have not been able to pull the trigger.
Keep reading. Keep reading.
I was curious what advice you could give me when just starting out. What should I do first and what should I focus on? I also have a connection to a Chinese manufacturing plant. Should I try to use that resource and go that route, or would you recommend buying and selling like your current model? Please help me get out of this vicious cycle I'm in. I want to be free and work for myself.
Isn't that the last part is the best?
Any advice would be greatly appreciated. That's it.
And this is from Cameron.
Yeah.
Well, Cameron, let's talk about this because this question pops all the time. People want to know, people come here to the shop, they ask us all the time, how do we start? Mm-hmm. How do we do it? What's the best practices? And I've been wanting to make this type of video for a long time, overthinking eBay.
Right, we talked about that.
We talked about that.
Yeah.
You disagreed on some stuff with me, but I think a lot of people, especially at the beginning, even experienced people, we are overthinking eBay.
Yeah, well, I think there's always a bottom line. No matter what you do, you have to have good merchandise.
That's the bottom line, right?
Yeah.
Good product, having the right product to sell, and it will sell. People overthink like pictures. Like we get questions all the time. How did you build this? I want to build this white background and all this. Listen, guys, you overthinking it. Having a background, gosh, I keep forgetting about my back. A background like this and this, it doesn't matter. I mean, it matters to the point, but it really, honestly, doesn't matter.
You can find something in your home.
Simple. Simple. We even listen. Remember at the beginning, lights. I was very creative. I was doing all kinds of stuff. Yeah. Now we don't even use any lights. There's not a single light in here.
No, didn't help.
The only light that we use, and obviously Vicky shoots most of the pictures during the day. We have a beautiful big window here.
Natural light.
Natural light comes in, and then we have a couple fluorescent lights that are in the ceiling.
Which I don't really like.
Sometimes you turn them off.
I have to.
Yeah.
So,
but I think a lot of people overthink. I have to have a special big DSLR camera and make, white backgrounds and crop this, crop that.
No.
It's all about the product.
You have to have a good item because I remember once we had a really neat reel-to-reel. I took beautiful pictures of that. And you know what? It didn't work right, so it came back. So it didn't matter how good I made it look.
Most people, when they're looking for something and they're buying, and especially when they're buying items, I think, I would even hesitate to say $100 and under, are not super picky. They know what they're looking for. They type in the title, a bunch of stuff comes up, they go through a few listings, boom, I pick that one, and it goes.
Yep.
If it's super expensive item, somebody's dishing out $1,200 on something, yes.
Oh, for sure.
Take your time, take good quality pictures, do close up, maximize, take all 12 pictures as much as you can load. But on, simple stuff, I mean, Salvation Army find for $5, 50% off, so it was $250. how much?
You don't need 12 pictures of
How
that.
many pictures you gonna
No.
take? Honestly, this probably 3 pictures
Yeah,
would be
3,
even good
probably
enough.
3. The front, the back, or
Front, the
side,
back,
yeah.
the connector, and that's it.
3 or 4 pictures, you're done.
And it could be even, you know.
What about this? This you're gonna need more.
Yeah, but once again, Mr. G.I. Joe over here, how much he's gonna bring?
I don't know. That's why
But
he's
how much
deciding.
he's gonna bring? I mean,
I don't know. I'm not even gonna venture to guess because I just don't. I
probably
don't know.
this is without accessories, $50 guy. Are you gonna go like super crazy on him?
No, I'm not. I'm not gonna go crazy, but I think people want to make sure the body's not like caved in or
Right,
broken.
but what I'm saying
You
is,
need
I
to
was
have-
showing you yesterday a guy who has 10,000
mark.
items.
You probably want that.
Yeah, well, you're gonna show close-ups of stuff that you.
Yeah.
She's sticking in his
Right.
butt.
Well, no, because he's stamped. I mean, you know
Yeah.
he's authentic because they stamped.
Right,
him.
right.
Yeah.
So obviously you're gonna show that picture. You're gonna show a few close-ups.
Gonna
But
need a few more than that guy.
what I'm saying is, a lot of people overthink it. They think that they need also 12 pictures
Don't.
of this on every single
No.
angle.
No.
No, you don't.
No.
Does it have to be
Couple.
super resolution, 22 megapixels camera with, all kind? No.
No. We
No.
use our phones for our photos.
We argued a little bit yesterday with Vicky because I showed her a guy that I think was crappy pictures. Vicky says, no, they're pretty good.
I
They're
didn't
decent."
mind them.
You didn't mind them.
No,
That's
because they were
exact-
centered.
They were centered.
They were
but
centered.
guy had a problem with the camera, right?
He
Obviously.
had spots on his lens or something, so there were, like, in every picture, 4 black spots. Or
Like dots. That even to the point that we
Yeah.
saw a piece of
we thought it was a grease stain on his
grease
shirt.
stain on a shirt, but it wasn't. It was just a spot on every single picture. That he
Every
was
picture,
taking.
they're exact same. Boom, 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 boom.
And guess what? A store that has 10,000 items constantly sells in pretty good volume, and the pictures overall were crappy. They were crappy, and it was selling.
Yeah, I didn't hate them.
I didn't say you hated them.
I didn't
just,
hate them.
They were dark. They were not focused. That's my point.
Yeah.
They don't have to be so perfect.
No,
You know?
they weren't perfect, but you know what? I think you still have to. Did you ever open up an auction and a person's got a picture, and they're 20 feet away, and it's this big? What the heck? Why do people do that?
So, the simple rules that you need to learn basics, right? If
Frame
you
your subject.
frame your subject, or if there's a glare, change the angle so you
Right.
can actually read what's on it. But you don't have to
Shoot
go
the
crazy.
smart stuff. Shoot the smart stuff. Like if you have an electronic, you want a good clear shot of the hookups in the back.
Right.
You don't want to just be sideways. You want to be straight on so people can see how it's going to
Exactly. And it says somewhere on the back, made in Japan. Make sure you
You
disclose
want the good
that.
stuff.
You want the good stuff, yeah.
Sometimes you don't need the bottom.
Right. It's just
You don't need it all.
so it's basic. You don't need to go crazy, and you don't need to go crazy spending who knows how much money on
On a table,
backgrounds
no.
and lighting and all this
No.
stuff. You can make it very simple.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we cover kind of that. Another big thing is that people I think overthink is how much money they're spending on items when they're buying out in the wild.
Okay.
And I'm gonna get into this because everybody wants to pick up stuff for $1 and sell it for as much as they can,
Right.
right? But if you already found an item that it's actually selling and you have a good record of it, you can see it in completed listings on eBay.
Always sells.
Always sells. It's a good seller. And let's say I'm gonna throw a number on it. Let's take the G.I. Joe guy.
Okay.
Always selling, right?
Okay.
And it sells constantly, let's say between $80 to $100. Like, you can see the
Count
history
it.
proves it,
Yeah.
right? And yeah, you would love to get it for $1 and make a
Right.
killing, right?
Right.
But it's sitting at the garage sale. Somebody's asking $20 for it, right? And you would like to get a deal, so you offered 10.
Yeah,
Okay.
right.
Hopefully you can get it maybe at 12, 15. You're thinking.
Right.
And somebody is stuck on it. No, I want $20, which you know already that actually it's not a bad deal.
True.
you getting 3 times your money at least.
Right.
This thing, it will sell for $80 on a low side, on a high side for 100.
Mm-hmm.
And you walk away.
And you're throwing money away. Because
just
you're
throw
afraid
money
to
away.
spend 12
And the
bucks.
reason I want to touch on this subject is because sometimes people think that the deal, it was not there. I just want to tell you guys, from experience and the way me and Adrian run the shop here, believe it or not, we pay up here for almost everything.
Yep. Yeah, you do.
90% of the stuff that we buy will pay at least a third.
Mm-hmm.
So if something's selling for 100, we're gonna pay 30 bucks. If it's a good selling item, like quickly that we know that it's gonna sell instantly, we'll go as high as half.
Right.
But we are banking on a quick turnaround. So I hate when I hear people saying out there, I didn't buy it because they wanted too much. Mm-hmm. Or Goodwill is going nuts. They're asking this much and this, but you're already there. Okay? Mm-hmm. You know that the product is selling.
Mm-hmm. History right in your hand.
History tells you right in your hand. You got it on your phone. Why not? Why not buy it?
Because people are afraid.
People are afraid, 100%.
They're afraid.
So this is one of the reasons, I think, especially in you, but experienced people are the same. They're scared to invest money because it's tied up now. Right, but if you know that it's going to sell relatively quickly, why not?
Right.
You know?
As long as you have the history there, so do your research.
Right.
If you do your research, it's not that risky. And then don't be one of those people that, yeah, you do your research and you say, oh, this is a sure sell.
Oh, sorry.
And then you go home and you just put it down and you do nothing with it. And then the next day you do the same thing. You don't need backstock. You're in this to turn your money around.
I think one of the hardest parts also in this business is the debt piles, right? Everybody talks about debt piles. I'm buying, and I'm not listing and selling. Mm-hmm. We don't have any debt piles. We hardly ever have backup here.
Right,
unless we buy a big load like we did with the tools.
That's different.
That's
We're
different.
We're still
working through it, right.
And it's selling. I mean,
yeah.
You know, you have a pile, but you have some left to do, but that sales are happening. You have to replenish.
So, but what I was getting at with this, don't be scared to pay up for some of the stuff, especially when you have a history, like we said, in your hand that it's going to sell.
Right.
And learn how to go about learning what's the sell-through rate on a product. How many are available, how many sold, so you have a good idea what stuff's selling. I think that's a big hiccup for people, especially new ones, because they might have such a budget, right, and they're so tight with the money and they're scared, should I pay $20 for this when they know history tells them it sells for 100, but
it sells for 100, you list it and you just wait and it's going to sell.
Yeah.
If you have that history. Sometimes there are items where there's so many active listings, but then when you look and sold, they all sell. So you don't have to worry about it.
So, and even sometimes, if you run into an item that it is a little bit long tail, you can always remember, you can adjust the price, right? People are scared that, now because I paid up more, I don't have a whole lot of room to make the adjustment to move the product. Buying at 1/3 of the value, you still have a lot of room technically.
And I see it as more of a cumulative thing. You can't count item for item. When you're calculating your profit or your losses, I mean, you have to think of the big picture. If you have 100 items and you know what you spent on all the 100, okay, you can't break it down one item. Oh, I lost. I only got, I didn't get what I wanted on this. If you start charting your own sales cumulatively, it's everything. You spend $100 out today, say, you're out garage selling, you spend $100. Don't think of it as I spent $2 on this, $4 on this, $6 on this.
Right.
Just think I spent $100. I'm going to double that.
Or triple.
Or triple it. That's the way I think of it, because otherwise it'll drive you crazy thinking that you didn't get enough for that one item, but then you got way more you expect on a different item. So, and then think of it this way. If you plan it right, and I'm sure you do this because, you're you. When you're you. I mean, some people are a little more, like you said, afraid. When you make a profit, you can put it right back into your business. I mean, into your shopping, into your sourcing.
Yeah.
So then after you sell a little bit, I always feel like it's like you're not paying with real money, you're paying with monopoly money.
Monopoly money?
It's not monopoly money. But I mean, you know what I mean? It
no,
stops
I know exactly
being,
what you mean.
it's only from your own bank account, like the first time.
Right.
You know what I mean?
You have to do the initial investment.
You do an initial investment.
It might be
after
$100,
that.
might be $1,000, whatever you feel comfortable with, but everything else.
After that, don't be afraid.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the way I see it. I
Right.
mean, I really do.
Especially when you're running this at the beginning as like a part-time gig, when you still have a full-time job and this is only like a side hustle, then it's totally worry-free. It's a little bit different when you jump in and you're making this a full-time and you're relying on that money because you got to pay some bills. It's different, but when it's especially part-time, oh boy, you can build it up so quickly.
You really can.
You really can.
Or just you separate it in your mind so that you're always on time with your bills and the way you want to live. But if you keep it, that's the way I do it, and then it takes the fear level down.
Yeah, for sure. The third thing I want to talk about that it's huge for beginners. I think especially for beginners because later on people that they get a little bit of experience, they realize and they learn this process and they are not paranoid about it anymore. It's about returns. So this is how I've been doing this now for years and I always think about it and we don't even tell Vicky now because I know what she lists stuff at. I'm like, there's plenty of room that she added on. But our return rate, even though that we sell a ton of electronics, ton of mechanical stuff that things can go wrong, we have extremely low return rate overall. 1.4 last time I looked.
That's not bad.
1.4%, which is very low. And on average, if we sell about 500 items a month, what's 1.4%? It's
right. So if it's like
7.5 items.
Right. So
come back.
It's the same thing like with the money. You can't get freaked out about a return because it's a big pile of 500 items with a small percentage.
But so the way I always think, and I always tell people, do it this way. That way, it really doesn't hurt your pocket, your bottom line. Is let's say you do have a 1% return. Let's round her up, make even numbers. So if you're selling 1,000 items a month with a 1% return, that means you're gonna get 10 items back, right?
Right. Doesn't seem like much.
Which, okay, say 2%. Let's exaggerate a little bit. Let's say you're getting 2%. You're getting 20 items back. Out of those 20 coming back, I guarantee you that half of that you can easily resell. Relist them.
That's true. Some of our stuff comes back.
And you only out really shipping money most of the time. In and out because, people are abusing the system now. They're saying not as described, whatever, and you're paying both ways, right? So you're really only out the shipping and you're relisting the product and you're selling it again. Another 10 really got broken, something happened.
Right.
Let's say your average selling price is, I don't know, $30. So 10 that you have to discard, 10 items that are broken, something happened, $300, right? Went to garbage.
But how much went to profit?
No. But listen to me. Now, if you would add only $1 to every single item that you sold throughout the month, which is 500 items, that's $500.
Okay. Right.
And in the long run, you even making money, and if something goes wrong, give him a refund. Forget it. Don't tell him. Don't even ship it back. Keep the item.
Right.
Here, because you already built it in the whole process.
Right. That's
by
what
adding that
it's
50.
The big picture.
Yeah. Even adding that 50 cents to an item or $1, you getting that money back.
Right. But
even
that's
if
because you're in
something
high
goes wrong.
volume, and it is when you're just starting out.
Well,
That's scary.
that's
I get
scary.
it. I get it. But you have to
It's
get
scary.
over that and dive in.
And then people are
Yeah.
worried, oh, I'm gonna get scammed and this. So even if you get one scammer out of those 500 items, big deal. He took you for $30. Most of the time, that's not
Right.
gonna happen on $30 item.
Right.
They're usually gonna go for a bigger ticket item. But even if you do, you covered, right? You add that dollar to every single item that you're selling. Your buyer who buys it is not gonna go away because you raise the price by $1. Dollar usually won't make a difference.
No.
And you covered.
Right.
And you sleep at night. Oh, something goes wrong. No
so,
problem.
You know, it is. Sometimes bad things happen. You pick yourself up, dust yourself up, and you just get right back into the game.
Exactly.
And you just you notice you feel bad after refund. Once you do it, do you ever even think about it again?
No.
Never.
No.
You're done. You move
we have
on.
this product here laying right behind us. Oh, where is it?
What? Oh,
That car.
you're
That's
right.
sold.
I know. I just saw that.
So this came back.
You want it?
When I bought it, let's show this off because
I don't think I got the story from you. I don't
Okay.
know what happened.
so guy brought this in like a month ago.
Uh-huh.
This is actually a box. This is attached.
Yeah.
This is a box for a watch. Watch goes in here. It's an expensive watch, but it comes with this car as a model for display. And when the guy brought me in, this is in one of the videos actually, I think, when I'm buying this. I didn't know how much to pay for this. The guy just brought me this. He said, I don't, So we finally, after looking it up and searching, I paid him $40. Knowing that hopefully maybe I can get 100, 120 out of this. And originally, we sold it for $150.
Yeah.
It sold for $150. Guess what? This little bumper fell off.
Oh, that's what happened.
Little bumper. I don't know if you guys can see it. So it's a little tiny bumper on this car that goes on the back that fell off doing the shipping. And the guy says, listen, this is a display piece, blah, blah, blah. I don't want it, right?
Where's all this stuff? Didn't we have booklets and stuff?
Yeah, I think so.
Where are they?
That's a good question. Are they in the back? Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
I got scared.
No, I remember Adrian
Okay.
taking this out. Everything
Yeah.
was in there.
So they didn't want it because they...
So he didn't want it, and it's fine. I get it, right? The guy
Yeah.
paid kind of top dollar, $150 for
He
this
did.
model, and
So how'd
somehow
that come off?
somehow it got detached and came off, and
Yeah.
So anyway, you're gonna have to retake the picture, but this is not lost money, right?
No, it's not.
So now maybe we're not gonna get
We
again
won't
top
get
dollar.
as much. We'll sell it with...
But anyway, I'm saying stuff like this. I mean,
stuff, yeah.
it hurts, right? Oh, $150 return. God, $150. What is this guy?
Yeah.
This guy's scamming me
Yeah.
right away. He wasn't scamming.
No.
Something broke really in shipping, and he,
Yeah.
So stop worrying about. I think these are the like three major things. People are
Yeah.
worrying so much that either they're gonna get scammed or they're gonna get so much return that it's not gonna be worth their time. And the returns are
Very
actually
low.
very low.
Very low.
Very low. Most people want their product. When they're buying,
Right.
they want it.
Right. Mhm.
Second thing, don't be scared to invest a little bit of money.
Right. Absolutely.
Not everything you're gonna pick up at the garage sale for 50 cents or $1 and you're gonna turn it to 50 or $100.
Right.
Because it's just a reality. I mean, sometimes you just gotta pay up for the stuff, especially if it's good quality stuff. People know what they have, and if you're already paying a third, you're already getting a deal.
Right.
And don't overthink like pictures. I think it's not that complicated. Use your phone, click very quickly. I was telling Vicky the other day how many products we sold that we even didn't show. You can't actually see the
because
product,
like in a
brown box.
sealed box. Right.
They know what they're getting.
Yeah.
They know what they're getting.
I
And
love those ones. They're so fast.
all right, so we're gonna end. I keep forgetting. Ouch. Ouch.
Oh.
Sorry guys, I got a back problem. You know about that. How are we gonna end this episode? I want to ask you guys, what can you improve and make it easier on yourself in this eBay business? Like, drop a comment below. What have you been doing like for years, and all of a sudden a light bulb clicked on, and you said, I don't need to do this anymore, or I do it like this right now, or
Okay.
you know, I save myself 10 minutes a day by doing this, or drop a comment.
Okay.
Because I think
I'd like to know.
the processes, and we read all the comments, guys. So, I'm like, when I read those comments, sometimes I go, should I make a video about this?
Good idea. Do it.
This is a new process. Should we implement this in our business? This is a learning curve, even though we've been doing this for so long. You pick up
That's
little
why
nuggets.
you need to have other people's ideas.
Exactly.
Yeah, because if
So
you're
drop
doing it
a
so long,
comment.
you think, oh,
Drop
no.
a comment, guys, especially if you've been doing this
would
for
like that.
so long that the newbies can read it, and it saves us all time.
Yep.
You know?
Great idea.
All right. Thanks, guys. Appreciate you watching. Till next time.
Cheers.
Cheers.